Hello everyone, we are Group 11 and today we'll be presenting on resilient local economies, key organizations in Durham. For our project, we chose to focus on two key organizations, Ontario Power Generation, also known as OPG, and Ontario Tech University, because they represent both economic stability and innovation in the region. My name is Anjali and the group members are Josh, Felipe, and Dennis. So the our presentation focuses on resilient local economies in Durham regions. Specifically, we are looking at how Durham's economic resilience strategy is supported by two important organizations, which are OPG and Ontario Tech University. And we chose these two because together they represent both stability and innovation. OPG provides strong, stable employment and long term investment, while Ontario Tech University supports research, talent development, and future innovation. This analysis is based on the Durham region's 2025 to 2035 strategic plan, which emphasizes building a strong and adaptable local economy. Moving on to the next slide, understanding economic resilience. So before discussing about the organizations, it is very important to understand what economic resilience means. Economic resilience is the ability of a region to absorb economic shocks such as recession, industrial changes, and unexpected disruptions and still continue to grow. It also means being able to adapt to technological changes and shifts in the labor market, which are going right now. A resilient economy supports long-term growth, protects quality of life for residents, and avoid depending too heavily on just one industry. In Durham region, resilience is especially important because communities need to grow and be stable and have stable employers and forward-looking sector to remain competitive over time. Moving on to the next slide, why anchor institutions matter. Anchor institutions are major organizations that have a lasting presence in a region and play a key role in local development. They matter because they provide long term stable employment and investments, which strengthens the local economy. They also support local businesses and supply chains by creating demand for goods, services, and partnerships. Unlike smaller or more mobile businesses, anchor institutions usually cannot easily relocate, which makes them a reliable source of economic stability. In addition, they contribute both economic growth and innovation, helping a region to remain strong, not just in present, but also in future.
So first, Ontario Power Generation, also known as OPG, is one of the largest electricity producers in North America. In Durham region, it operates the Darlington and Pickering nuclear stations, which are major energy facilities. And because of this, the OPG acts as a key industrial foundation for the region. And it does not just provide like electricity, it supports long-term energy infrastructure and plays a big role in keeping the local economy stable. OPG has a major impact on Durham's economy. It provides thousands of high-paying specialized jobs, which support the local middle class, and it also creates a strong multiplier effect, meaning those jobs support other businesses like retail, housing, and services. For example, the Darlington refurbishment project alone is expected to generate around $90 billion in economic impact. On top of that, OPG provides long term employment for over 30 years and supports carbon free energy production. This helps maintain stable tax revenues and protects the region from the economic fluctuations. Moving on to Ontario Tech University, the Ontario Tech University plays a different role, but equally important role. It is an innovation-driven university located in Oshawa, with a strong focus on STEM fields like engineering or technology. The university is designed to align to align education with industry needs, which means students are learning skills that are actually in demand. Because of this, Ontario Tech helps build a future-ready workforce for the region. Moving on to the workforce development, innovation, and entrepreneurship, Ontario Tech also contributes through workforce development and innovation. It develops skilled, job-ready graduates and helps reduce the regional skills gap. Through co-op programs or the internship programs, students gain real world experience and connect with local employers. Also, the university also supports our startups through programs like the Brilliant Catalyst, which encourages entrepreneurship. Overall, it links research with industry and helps retain talent in Durham region instead of students leaving for bigger cities. And moving on to the next slide.
So, to really understand how Durham is hitting these goals, you have to look at the partnership between OPG and Ontario Tech. It's basically a massive loop where industry provides the funding and the real world problems, and the university provides the research and the talent. A huge part of this right now is our joint work on small modular reactors, or SMRs. OPG uses the research facilities at Ontario Tech to lead the way in clean energy, which keeps Durham region at the center of the global energy transition. Also, very importantly, they include Indigenous partners in the planning stages of these projects. So they're making sure that Indigenous people play a part. Moving on to the actual economic impact, OPG acts as the industrial foundation for the whole region. They provide over 14,000 jobs every single year, and these aren't just random jobs. They are high-paying, stable positions that create what we call the multiplier effect, which basically means that for every person working at a site like Darlington, that money they earn gets spent back into the local economy, supporting small businesses, retail, and housing right here in the Durham region. And just to give you an idea of the scale, the Darlington project alone is expected to generate about 90 billion in economic benefits. So this provides a massive safety net that keeps our local economy resilient even when other sectors might be struggling. And finally, we have to look at workforce evolution. Durham is shifting from a traditional labor-heavy economy to a knowledge-based economy, and Ontario Tech is driving that change. One of the biggest threats to a local economy is the skills gap, which is when companies have jobs but can't find local people with the right training. Ontario Tech solves this issue by aligning their programs directly with what OPG and other local industries need, specifically in fields like nuclear engineering and cybersecurity. So this prepares our workforce and keeps our talent here in the Durham region. And this also ties back to reconciliation because the university is integrating Indigenous perspectives into their business and STEM curriculums, ensuring that the next generation of managers in Durham are prepared to lead in an inclusive and ethical way.
So, moving from our research to our recommendations, we've developed three key strategies to bridge Durham's economic goals with the Truth and Reconciliation Call to Action 92. We believe that for Durham's economy to be truly resilient, it must move beyond consulting Indigenous communities and move towards partnering with them. Our first recommendation addresses the sustainable benefits mandate of CTA 92. Our first action is a regional Indigenous first procurement policy. We've discussed OPG's success with their Indigenous Opportunities Network, and we believe the entire region should adopt this framework. We propose a 5% minimum target for all regional contracts to be awarded to Indigenous-owned businesses. It works by using weighted bidding to remove systemic barriers. We ensure that tax dollars spent on local infrastructure directly support Indigenous entrepreneurship. This fulfills the CTA 92 requirement for equitable access to economic opportunities. It keeps the multiplier effect within our local borders. In the next slide, I'll present the next recommendation. Next, we address the education for management requirement. And our second recommendation is about leadership. Resilience requires a workforce that's not only skilled, but representative of the community. For our action, we recommend a regional Indigenous leadership in STEM pipeline co-funded by Ontario Tech and OPG. This isn't just a scholarship, it's a career path. It provides full ride funding, guaranteed co-ops at the Darlington station, and executive mentorships. This ensures Indigenous residents aren't just entry-level employees, but are the future managers and decision makers in Durham's clean energy sector. Our final recommendation is about governance and shared power. True resilience is impossible without free, prior, and informed consent. We propose a joint economic development council. This body would have equal seats for regional leaders, such as OPG, Ontario Tech, and local Indigenous governments. The goal by creating this council is this council would oversee all major future proofing projects like the SMR developments, ensuring every project includes a reconciliation impact assessment. This creates a stable, ethical environment where growth and reconciliation move forward together. Now, on our last slide, I'll talk about the final takeaways. So, in conclusion, our research into Ontario Power Generation, OPG, and Ontario Tech University confirms that Durham region has all the tools for world-class economy, a stable industrial base, a high-tech innovation engine, and a clear path toward sustainable energy. However, the most important takeaway from analysis is that the true resilience is impossible without inclusion. By adopting the recommendations we've outlined, like the procurement reform, leadership pipelines, and shared governance, Durham can move beyond basic economic growth and move toward a model of shared prosperity. The following mandates of Call to Action 92, Durham won't just withstand future economic challenges, it will serve as a global gold standard for how a region can build an ethical, sustainable, and truly resilient future. Thank you for watching.